is nothing but raw facts which is does not have a perfect meaning in whatever we are doing this data model definition. For example, in Google we have searched the definition, we have found out the definition of data model. We are having so many definitions. Okay, one is data is nothing but raw facts which is does not have a perfect meaning, and sometimes it's have a perfect meaning. But coming to this RDBMS, the data is nothing but facts of records. For example, some text or number or any some video or a audio. Here today's lecture we are learning the data models. Here mainly the data models are categorized by three types. One is relational data model, network data model, and a hierarchical data model. Here let us see this relational data model. We are learning the subject RDBMS, Relational Database Management System. Here we learn that relational is nothing but, in previous lecture we have learned relational is nothing but it is a table. Okay, for example, in the subject we are mainly learning the relationship between the tables. Clear? Here relational data models. What is relational data model? What is the proper definition of the relational data model? Here we are having, in this data is organized into tables. We know this meaning. Relational is nothing but it's a tabular format. Whatever the data we are storing in the database system with the help of the relational data models in tabular format. Here relational data model is nothing but in this data is organized. Okay, what type of the format we are storing the data? It is organized into tables. Organized into tables. In which format? Rows and columns. Here rows represents the relationship among relation number 1, 2, 3 unique values. This class relation we are having the unique values in number. This number is relationship with the SID. Okay, 1 and 2. In this student table also we are having the unique values and remaining one. Here this class 1 and 2. Now in this relation we are note that primary key is class. Okay, and then next what about this? For example, what is primary key? We are having in the relational table one or more primary keys. First we select that one is primary key, another one is foreign key, and here next one is a foreign key. Yeah, foreign key. And next coming to this network data model. Okay, what is network data model? Here the relational data model is nothing but we are having that relationship. Okay, the data is organized in a tabular format, rows and columns. Okay, with the help of the primary key and the foreign key we have find out the relationship between the two tables with the help of the primary key and the foreign key. And next move on to this network data model. In this data is represented by collection of records. Here collection of records and a relationship among data. Okay, here the data is represented by collection of record and a relationship among data or represented by links. In this network data model, mainly we are using the record and the links. Okay, based on these two terms. Okay, based on these two terms, we are find out the network data model. One is record and then next links. Now coming to this record. What is record? It is a collection of attributes. Okay, collection of columns names, collection of attributes, each of which contains only one data value. Which contains only one data value. And the next links. It is an association between two records. Association between two records. Let us see what is the example of the. Let us see clearly about this record. What is record and links. Here we are having one example. First we find out that what is record. Record is nothing but it is a collection of attributes. Okay, columns names, each of which contains only one data value. Which contains only one data value. Here we are having an example. Class. Class is a relation, or else you can also call it as it's a table. Okay, class and class is having the attributes number and head of the class. These two attributes having a single here, each of which contains only one data value. Here this attribute is having only one data value and head of the class is also having only one data value. And the next student. Okay, student is one more relation, one more table. SID, SNAME and class. Okay, here that relation. Okay, here it is a collection of attributes. Here we are having the collection of attributes, collection of columns names, number, head of the class and student ID, student name, and then next in student relation also we are having a class. Collection of attributes, each of which contains only one data value. Here that number. Okay, 1. Here we are having that relationship student class number and here class number and the class. Okay, here it is a link, it's forming a link. Okay, it's a class and a student. In these two relations we are adding with the help of the link. Here link is nothing but it is an association between two records, student and a class. And the next last one is hierarchical data model. Here hierarchical data model is nothing but it is similar to that network data model. It is a hierarchical data model is also similar to that network data model. And here network data model, the only difference is that in hierarchical model records are organized as trees. Records are organized as trees rather than arbitrary graphs. Here we are having one example. You know clearly about what is a hierarchical data model. Here we are having an example, that is department. Okay, department relation or else department table. Here is this department relation. Okay, the department is a parent class. Okay, here the department is parent. Department ID, the department is an entity. What type of entity we have discussed in previous lecture? We learned in previous lecture entity attributes. Okay, here physical existence or conceptual existence. And these two types of entities. Here we are having in conceptual existence, department, job. Here the department is an entity. The department is having a properties, attributes, department ID and the department name. Here the department ID and department name. Obviously in one department, okay, working having the department having a course and the number and the department name. Okay, this department is dividing. Okay, one side is course and the next student. Okay, here in this course is an entity. That course is having a properties, attributes, number and a department name. In which department? In which department? For example, in mathematics, computer science, okay, or arts or commerce. Here course, number and a department name. And the next this course is dealing with the faculties. Okay, dealing with faculties. Faculty is an entity. That entity is having a attributes, ID and a department name. Where the faculty is working, in which department? Department name. Here we are having the student. This student is an entity. Student is also have a properties, student ID, student name and course. In which course the student is joined, in which course the student is learning. Okay, here the course, here where is the parent class and where is the child class? Parent class is a department and the remaining all a child class. Here that department is dividing characterized into parts. One is course and that student. Okay, child class. And then here the course is again okay, dividing that faculty details, ID and department name. Here we are having some note. Each entity has only one parent. Each entity is having only one parent but can have several entities. Okay, but can have several entities. Okay, child. Here each entity, each and every entity is having only one parent but several childs. Here the hierarchical data model is nothing but it's similar like a network data model, but here one difference is that it's having a records or organized as trees. Okay, here the records are arbitrary graphs. Today's lecture we are learning